Whose birthday is it, man? Say something again, brother.
You said what?
Talking to Mike.
For me?
Yeah.
Check 1, 2.
There he is. There you go. All right, yeah, that's all we needed, man. It's recording right now. All right, go ahead, man. So I got you in the mic, bro. I got you in the mic, man.
Okay.
Man, so we talked about mental health, and it's this thing called ACEs. It's called Adverse Childhood Experiences, and it goes through all these questions about all the bad things that ever happened in your life. And what do you think?
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So what do you think about all the bad decisions that you made? You told me the other day that they built you up. You glad you went through them because they made you who you are today. Is that right?
Right. They made me the man I am today. If I would have never went through those trials and tribulations, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah. So your brother, and we talked about mental health there. Your dad, Snap, your grandfather, your uncle, and you talk about penitentiary, man. You and your brother maybe might be in the same facility, man. What would you tell somebody right now to do to just be like, man, hey, bro, it's time to move on?
Like, who would I be telling this to? Somebody that hasn't experienced or have experienced what I've been through?
Do both.
Or experience it right now?
Do both. Do the first and the second. 2 options.
Okay. So somebody that's experienced, okay, this is something I tell somebody in here. You can rather let this break you or make you. Breaking you would be like all the bad things. Making you would be all the good things. So if you let it break you, like some prime examples would be thinking you can outsmart the system with all this new technology. That's going to be impossible. It's not going to happen. If some of the biggest, you feel me, did it, what makes you think you can do it? It's impossible. Or going home trying to beat people up because you just your whole time locked up working out. How you think you can fight unlegally or something like that would be like breaking you. Going back doing the same thing that got you here will basically be breaking you. Now making you can sit down, read, prepare, you can figure out what your passions is, who love you, who don't love you, chilling with the right people, because, they say birds flock together. Meaning, like, you can rather hang with people that you was hanging with that got you in a situation, or you can switch it up and hang with people that's going to college, reading, working a 9 to 5, that got something going on in their future and in their present.
So you learned a lot now. You learned a lot, man. You sound much better than a couple of weeks ago, man. I'm glad. You know what I'm glad about? Man, we hadn't talked in so long, bro. And then we ended up talking and reading books.
Right.
I'm glad you called me so much, man. You can call me anytime. I got in trouble at my job for talking to you. I answered the phone just to let you know, man, I'm still here, but I can't be on the phone, right? Because the kids need me too. So, but when you call and I can answer, I answer, bro. That's good because you always say something valuable, man. What would you tell the world today, man? How's everybody treating an election in prison?
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
So, how are they treating the election in prison?
Yeah, what they talking about in there?
I would say because we're not getting the benefits right now because we're incarcerated. Like with Trump, he said he's gonna what did Trump say? He said he's gonna not take that much tax away, and then you got Biden saying that he's gonna help more with the COVID scientifically. instead of just saying. So that's two things that's really not gonna help us being locked up, but for the like, cause it's a lot of I see more blacks locked up in prison, and that's from county to Lorraine to Marion Correctional, where I'm at right now. I see more blacks locked up. So that they're being two, presidents. If it's not Obama, it's really a 50-50.
It's no trust.
And Biden.
It's no trust.
Huh?
There's no trust.
There's no trust.
And then that's how it looked when Hillary and Trump. That's why Trump got in there. Was no trust. But
right.
When he first served, he was independent and had nothing to do with anybody. Though historically, he talked about if he would ever run, he would run Republican. So
right.
I'm not scared of Trump. He just being Trump. I'm not scared of him.
Right. I'm not scared of Trump either.
Yeah, he just being Trump. But we got to be our people and then build together. But ain't no president really was so cold that he really helped us trinomically. Trinomically is a word. That's the biggest word ever right now. Trinomically.
Trinomically.
No. Trinomically. Trinomic. Trinomically. Yeah, trinomically. Yeah, with the L. Trinomically. That's like big. Trinomically. Trinomically. That's bigger than you can ever imagine. I don't even think it's probably a new planet called Trinomic. And that's the food you found on the planet.
That'd be like million, billion, and trillion.
Trinomically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
so
that word.
Anyways, how many push-ups did you how many push-ups did you do today, buddy?
I did 1,500 and probably like an hour and 15 minutes.
1,500 push-ups, man?
Yeah.
How many sit-ups?
I'm getting stronger by the day.
How many sit-ups?
How many sets?
How many sit-ups did you do?
How many sit-ups I did? I did 15 down 3 times. So about probably like, I'm trying to think how much is 15 down. 15, 14, 13.
You said you did 31.
Like 300, 400.
So 31s times 10?
Huh?
31s times 10, at least 300?
No, we in prison, we do like 15 down, 30 down, which means in one set you do 15, then the next set you do 14, then the next set you do 13, until you get to 1, until you get to 0, and then you're done. So I did that 3 times, and I think that add up to like 300 to 400 sit-ups. All
right, so this is the last thing you got to say. How you gonna close this out? It's a lot of kids dying from drugs out here, and you told me, man, people were affiliated with the wrong things. Tell a kid one thing you could tell him to change his life. I just lost a player. I lost a player, man, to just using the wrong thing. What would you tell him? Just don't do this.
I would tell him, don't hide your addiction.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I would tell them not to hide their addiction because there's always somebody that's been there that can help them surpass their addiction and their bad habit that can lead on to another bad habit. Because a lot of people go from weed to bigger drugs because they try to hide from their parents that they're smoking weed. And then that put them in the wrong crowd to where, hey, do this and smoke weed and do this, la la la. And the next thing you know, you sneaking and doing more drugs that you're not supposed to be doing until it all come out. And by the time it all come out, it's too late because you didn't share your addiction.
So you got to find a group or people to share your addiction so that way you can be honest and be safe.
Right.
It's about safety, right?
Right. And it's about being true to yourself. You can't stop something unless you're true to yourself.
So this is for some of these sorry ass coaches. I'm sorry for cussing the losing. You can't stop losing until you true to yourself. Ain't no more losing, right?
Ain't no more losing.
If you lead and you can't lose, I think we need to win more. Pastor Fowler is like one of the greatest champions I've ever seen in my life. He was just, yeah. So you grew up with him. You won't remember him. You won't remember him, but man. And then Pastor Swoop was a woman at the church, but remember her?
Great lady.
You remember her?
Great lady.
Yeah. So those are individuals I taught you. Those are called elders. So don't forget your elders, and your ancestors are the ones that have gone on and they comfort you like while you're in prison. And I
wanna say something else before we get off here. To upraising children or just human period. Us being human and going to school, we be forced to read stuff we don't like. But it's always good to keep an open book of something you like towards your passion. You know?
Yeah.
It's always good to keep an open book.
I like that, man. Let's end there, man. I love you, bro.
All right, love you too.
Hey, it's about that time, man. Hey, man, just if another guy wake up screaming like that when he wake up, that was crazy, wasn't it? That dude was screaming. He woke up like he was at home. That was crazy, man. Hey, we gonna have a jail. Hey, we gonna have a prison ministry. We gonna help all these. But you know the Bible tell you if you don't help prisoners, you ain't no good at all. If you don't help prisoners, poor people, hungry people, and kids, you trouble, man. You ain't nothing, man. If you don't say that women and just, you got to be a gladiator. Hey, love you, bro. I'll talk to you in a minute. I'm gonna send you them books in a couple weeks.
All right. Giving is receiving. Love you.
Love you.